immigration, but then why can't we talk about it without being accused of being racist and being intimidated and being treated as if we were Nazis, basically. I thought that was a very strange thing that white people couldn't do.
Well, it seems like it's gotten a lot worse over the years. Yeah. They want to portray us as the aggressors. That part is worrisome to me because they're singling out our race for some reason as the ones that are causing the problems. But we're not. We've always not. We're strong. We stand up and everything. But you're not white.
Yeah, but if you don't mind me saying so, you don't sound white.
Say again?
You don't sound white.
I don't?
No, you don't. I mean, not from your...
but I am.
I don't know.
I'm 100% white. I'm like a French Canadian, English, and German ancestry.
Oh, okay. Maybe I can't tell by accents. And there are actually a lot of non-white people who are concerned about immigration, and also a lot of Jews who are also concerned about Muslim immigration. But the trouble with the media is that they like to pretend we don't exist or that we're mad. And I think a lot of people who are not white want to say something about immigration and the way the establishment deal with us is to pretend we don't exist. Because, I mean, what could be a stronger message than immigrants saying they're a little surprised and concerned about the way the countries of the West allow uncontrolled immigration?
Well, immigration is, it's happened in countries, any country, for thousands of years. So I don't understand why it's becoming a problem. Like, it's nothing new, but all of a sudden we're really upset about it. We don't want the Muslim population mixing in, right? I mean, that can be a problem, but it shouldn't be.
It wasn't really so much. I mean, I think Muslims are the only immigrant group that people initially were allowed to hate and fear, because that was how the BNP operated. They went, aha, Muslims are not a racial group, so we can talk about them. And that was kind of how it started when I first joined. So, but then it became the case that you can't hate Muslims either.
Well, it's that's a problem because they say they want to kill us. They say, mostly. I don't want to say everybody. I'm just saying, in general, their religion says kill the infidels, and then you hear them saying, death to Americans or white people or whatever.
Well, that's because of American foreign policy. I mean, these things happen in isolation. The Americans have bombed a lot of Muslim countries. The Americans, with their NATO allies, have bombed quite a few Muslim countries. So I guess you should expect them to get a bit upset and want to commit a few acts of terrorism, particularly if you let them into your countries after you've bombed their countries. But I mean, what I'm trying to say is that it's an insane policy to bomb people's countries and then let the refugees come to your countries and then complain when things aren't going well for the host population, as well as the Muslims who never wanted to come to your country in the first place and can't quite settle in.
We bomb their countries and then we bring their population, the refugees in. The thing is, I think people are worried about like the long-term effects of that immigration.
And of course they would worry about it because I have parents. They don't live in the West, but they're also concerned in a way because I've had conversations with them, and they said, you can't let them in. Why are you letting them all in? And I know that other people say that too, like the Dalai Lama and other non-white people who don't even live in the West, saying, "What the hell are you doing? What are you doing to yourselves?" Jay, do you want to mute as we can hear you shuffling around?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was. Sorry, I'm going to sit still now, so carry on. Apologies.
Yeah. So basically, the unease is that we know that what the government is doing isn't right. We also know that we live in a democracy. We know that half the people, certainly in the UK anyway, we kind of voted to leave the EU, and we're told we can't. We should never have been asked a question, and having been asked a question, our answer is wrong, and they're going to, basically kick Brexit in the head until it is dead. So that's what they're blatantly doing day after day, and nothing is being done. We're just taking this shit. We're just sucking it up, and there's nobody to, speak on our behalves.
Well, yeah, politics is corrupt in that way, where they give you the illusion that they're there for you, for us, right? That I'm kind of losing track of what I just was thinking.
It doesn't work. It doesn't even. We know that the fact that we're a democracy means nothing because our politicians don't respect it. They're not respecting the Brexit vote. And they're doing it blatantly. And they're doing it because they know we can't organise. So my question is, why can't we organise? And I would say we can't organise because the religion of the West is no longer working, because if it was, we would be able to organise. Or, at any rate, white men would be able to organise against their internal and external enemies. But they're helpless, aren't they?
They are. Mm-hmm.
And so my solution is that because it is the religion that has failed, the political system has also failed. And so in the West, people are suffering from the double whammy of a failed political system and a failed religion. And I'm afraid people are denying it.
You say what the political system... Oh, I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. I'm sorry.
I finished.
I was trying to say that... you say that the political system is failed, but I don't think it was ever meant for us, ever. They use that it's not a failed political system. It's a system that they created for themselves. So it's running perfectly as far as I'm concerned on how they see it.
Yeah, but technically we're supposed to be a liberal democracy, supposed to believe in liberal principles. Liberal principles, as I understand it, are free speech, freedom of contract, freedom of association, the right to property. And these principles are, they're not being respected at all. And there's nobody able to even articulate these principles, because it seems to be that nobody even knows what these principles are anyway.
Well, and if we raise awareness about what those principles are, then maybe we can get more unity. But the thing is, the people that are watching, these things, they're watching the political movements and stuff. They don't want people to organize. They want it scares them. They don't want somebody to. They don't want competition. They don't want us waking up. They don't want us talking about waking up. They don't want us talking about or pointing out the flaws in their events.
Yeah, and I think that one of the problems, Jay says he has a point to make, and I will finish making my point, and then I will let him come on to make his point. My point is that we can't make our point because the only people the people who most suffer are from the lower classes of society. And that is really the problem. And what the elite feel about this particular class of people is that they deserve to suffer because they A, don't do any work or are less willing to work, and B, they deserve, if you're at the bottom of society, you deserve to suffer anyway, and nobody listens to what you say and don't care what you feel. So that is basically their attitude towards the people who complain about immigration, i.e. rednecks, angry white men, trailer trash, deplorables, people like that who maybe they're not the best workers of the world, but for some reason they won't say so directly. But they're saying, we know you're bad workers, we know you don't do the work, we know that the people who vote for us with money, who want to hire people, well, they can't be bothered to deal with you. So they just rather hire foreign workers. And refugees are ideal because they're just grateful to be in the country. They won't get uppity, they'll suck it up, and they'll work hard. And you people, you have nothing to do, not really, because we've destroyed your manufacturing base and moved it to China, and you have nothing to do anymore. And really, we just kind of want you to, we just want to warehouse you for extinction. That's why we want you not to have children. That's why we want you to be gay, and that's why we just want you to die and don't produce yourself.
I think that aspect of what you're talking about there is population control. They like keeping the numbers under wraps. I think that China is like a prototype or a model of what they are trying to do around the world.
Well, China's currently workshop of the world, and I guess when China can't do the work, they send the work to Bangladesh and Vietnam. But basically, I'm saying they're not thinking in terms of the future. They're not thinking in the national interest of the country. And I guess I have identified myself with nationalism in that I want it to be defined as government in the national interest, and nothing that our governments are doing now could be said to be promoting the national interest.
Well, and then with bringing in immigrants from other countries, it erodes the nationalism, doesn't it?
Yeah, it causes social problems. People don't like it, and if the problem is that the working classes of the West are not working, then it's up to the government. It's a job of the government to make these people work. But because they're afraid to tell you, basically, because if you tell off the workers, then they might not vote for you next time. I think that is a problem, and so they're afraid of even to even tell people off because they don't think that they'll get elected.
Sorry to interrupt. Can you send Brundlefly and Daniel a link?
Yeah, okay. I'll finish making my point first, though. Brundlefly and Daniel Sienkiewicz. Yes, is that it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. So I'm going to finish my point and say that there's an ad in the UK which is about doing what it says on the tin. So our democracy, our government, our political principles are not doing what it says on the tin, and nobody seems to be pointing it out or caring. What was this banging around? So So I'm saying, we need to fundamentally examine the basis of Western government, because nobody seems to care what it is now anyway, and people can't organize because of the low social class of the perceived of the people who are complaining about immigration. So they'll always be tarred with the same brush of racism and anti-Semitism without having their concerns addressed. So that's basically what I'm trying to say. And Jay, did you want to say something before?
Yeah, no, I did 2 or 3 quick points before Brundle comes on, or if he comes on, whatever. I agree completely what Ghost said, that the liberal democracy system is working perfectly because it is set up so nothing really can be changed. So it is, as it says on the tin, it is meant to, the two-party system more so, it is meant that you're choosing between evil or bad, is doing what it's supposed to do. That's my first point. Second point is I would like to thank you and congratulate you, Claire, on demonstrating that you are the most liberal person on these streams, and I say that sincerely. When you look at the type of people that you welcome on, the cross range of opinions, your willingness to hear them, and people are putting it in the chat as well. You've obviously the last couple of weeks picked up with a lot of stuff, and I do think it's, we joked the other day about diversity is our strength, but it is actually true that on these streams that the last few days especially, there's been a complete cross-section of different people, and I know that if a Pakistani gay man come on, you'd welcome it, because you'd want to ask him questions and talk to him, and if anybody was rude or horrible, you'd be quick to step in. So I'd just like to say, from my own perspective, I think that's a fantastic way to carry on, and I certainly am grateful for the position and opportunity to be able to be part of it.